Yeah, yeah. I mean, Execration has been this kind of, I don't know, slayer of
Only
big
10
teams. I
seconds.
guess you
Mm-hmm.
could put it that way. Like with Polaris, they've been this up and rising, scary team to play against. You know, you can't really take them for granted in any game. I think the big reason is also because of Bob. But
Mm-hmm.
Shanks and Palos, I think these two guys have been making waves. They've played an excellent
Radiant
tournament so
span.
far, and
Yep.
they've just kind of
Mm.
found their place. At least draft wise, there's the Alchemist you were calling out, which we were suspecting to go through. But the Chen pick is a bit of a curious one. At least you've got some kind of lane pressure to kind of
10
help out the
seconds
Alchemist,
left.
but also if you just block the
Radiant
camps, make
span.
Chen's life hard, you make Alchemist's life hard. That's kind of an opening for Execration to maybe play a bit more of a squishier type of off lane. You would go for the Visage pick, for example. Alchemist can't really punish the Visage. So Visage has a good time in this lane. I can really see Execration roll out
10
the
seconds
exit
to
from the
pick.
laning stage, hit Visage early into level 12, level 15,
Mm-hmm.
and
5
just
seconds.
pummel
Hurry,
down towers
hurry.
when Alchemist is starting his power spike. So I like this hero pick, but is it gonna punish the Alchemist? That's a big question.
I'm not sure. Like, you definitely need to start taking downers down with this Visage Kiro to make sure that the puck has enough space, dark space on the map to rotate into. But at the same time, with the Chen pickup on top of the Lesh, Fnatic now has these first three picks are extremely brawly and extremely good at securing an opening kill and then getting your tower
Only 10
immediately afterward.
seconds.
Mm.
So this might just be a tower race on the board.
5
And Fnatic
seconds
have already
remain.
played the hero card that they're going to go with for the guy who's going to capitalize on all of this, the Alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
Execration still has that one to go, but it's not going to be either the Terrorblade or the Morphling, both of which would shut the Alchemist down as soon as the Eye of Skadi comes out. Mm, I'm wondering what Exa has left in the tank now.
Well, there's a plenty of options. I'm not a fan necessarily of the Bristleback, but that could work. They've got a decent combo with the Faceless Void. They could go
Radiant team
Furion.
pick.
Maybe even look at Doom because of the Alchemist already on the board. So if they really rely on Bob's Puck and Tino to
Mm-hmm.
roll out a very good laning stage with the Visage, they could just go Doom carry and kind of neutralize the
10 seconds
Alchemist,
to
to put
pick.
it that way. Also a good target to use on the Lesh too.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I'd
Hurry,
really like to
hurry.
see a Scotty builder still, which is why I was so.
Hmm.
But the only one that I can see, like the only other classic Scotty builder that I'm thinking about right now is the Slark, which, as good as Slark has been, always seemed like a very tenuous proposition.
Yeah. It depends who you're playing against, I guess. Like if you're playing Slark against Fnatic, they won't let you live on
No.
pickoffs at all. Maybe the Chen is a target you can start soaking up, but Primal Beast gets there really fast. Lesh has a lot of mobility. Alchemist is always on top of you. So yeah, this is
Exactly.
not a very good Slark
The
game.
Hand of God especially makes it so annoying for you
Mm.
to get those early pickoffs off. Like the extra stolen stacks on the pounce helps Slark out a lot with the opening of fights, tanking him
Dire
up a
team
bit,
pick.
pushing his damage up.
I speak for the
But
trees.
Fnatic take the
oh,
Furion.
it, well, you know what I was saying before we started this all? I'm like, I'm seeing a trend of pushing on Fnatic. I think Fnatic has wanted to make that very explicit now.
Yeah, pushing and also a lane winner. Like kind of look
Yep,
like
Only
already
10
looking
one of
at
the
the
strongest
seconds.
laners.
Alchemist. Alchemist probably has a difficult time in his lane, so they went for Fury and they
5
want to at
seconds
least
remain.
balance out
Hmm.
either one of their side lanes. Potentially could be off lane. This could also be a support if they really want to mix things up.
How about
Don't
mid
know how it
NP?
works though. Mid NP would be great, yeah. Right click capability would be very nice considering the Visage is already in the game and Puck is squishy as hell and Furion with an Orchid is the death of Puck. So I'd love to see like this pick off machine for
Yep.
Fnatic with this hero pick. But you said pushing. Pushing is a harsh reality. Execration is gonna have to find a wave clearing last pick most likely. So
Yeah,
is it the
the
Bristle? Is it gonna be the Void? I don't think
none
the
of
Doom
those
is great.
scream wave clearing to me is the problem. Well,
Slar.
there he
Choose
is.
your hero.
It's not a great
I
Slark game, I'll give you that.
I mean, it's hard for him to die, but it's also hard for him to do anything.
Yeah, yeah, it's like, all right, that's your carry. It's like, okay,
I
I
mean,
mean, you are right about it. Like, I guess the Slark sits in nicely against the Alchemist matchup here. But
mhm.
what is your timing? Are you just gonna get ran over by Fnatic? Like, they need to
Yes,
win Bob's
that's
lane. Like, this puck has a lot on his shoulders in this game.
he does. Well, at the very least, as you said before, I also think that the Visage, if he plays his cards right, has a very decent lane ahead of him. So they have a bunch of time, hopefully, to make those pickoffs happen, keep the tempo up. But the problem is that as soon as they let that grip slip out of their grasp, Fnatic is going to take a bunch of terrain and it's going to be very hard to take it back because the only way that they have to take towers is with the Visage Siege. And that's dangerous, dangerous, dangerous versus like either you're going to lose a lot of buildings on the other side of the map or you're going to get tackled by a Primal Beast quarterback and jumped by the NP. Hmm. Yep, I guess that's the way, and I love doing this, right? I love hedging my bets.
Mm-hmm.
If the Slark gets a game, he's got himself a great matchup. But I'm very doubtful that he's going to get a game unless Bob does some magic. And we do love to see Bob do his magic.
Yeah, we definitely do. Gotta keep an eye open on that mid lane, how it really works out for Bob here. He's up into a big challenge, but I guess Bob, he's the guy who loves a bit of a challenge. Really wants to take the hard route if possible, upset your opponents even if that's the case. But we'll be going up against the Lesh. Lesh is gonna be a bit annoying to play against, and this is really where the rotations into tower pushes is going to be the theme of this game. I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of tier 2 trades. It's most likely Execration either playing on the back foot. And that is the scary part. If Execration end up playing on the back foot, it's going to be a very hard game for them to come back. Slark is not great at comeback games. But if he can, thanks to his allies, get to that state where Slark becomes a big, big nuisance, that's a win condition for Execration. Outside of that, I'm going pretty much all in on this Fnatic draft. Like if they can just win the laning state, I feel like there's a very small chance for Execration to come back. I know I'm being a bit pessimistic here on the other side. I'm just looking at their heroes. I'm just looking Lesh Furion. Okay, that's already like enough of a a rough game to have. But it is Bob Puck, so I think he's the wild card here.
Yeah, and what a wild man it is because we've seen him alternatively have like perfect games versus like complete like he soars like an angel or he falls like a brick and there's really nothing in between.
See what they can come up with here. A bit of a pause right away, so might as well dive into some more numbers for the time being, as we did already go through map pings, but also the hero pool. Fnatic has by far the smallest hero pool out of any team in the tournament. They've been playing a lot of same heroes. I wonder if Execration has now finally scouted out what Fnatic wants to do. Like seeing this Primal Beast, it's like, is this 2? Is this 4? You see the Let's Track come out. It's like, do we put this offlane or mid? Okay, that means Primal Beast is most likely going to be support. They don't want to play a Lesh in the support role. So that's at this phase of the tournament, we know like it's the first round of the playoffs, but some of your drafts become somewhat predictable. So Execration's probably already ready for this one. Like, what is Fnatic most likely going to bring out into these matchups?
Yeah, the problem with that is just that when a team like Fnatic makes their hero pool small, it's usually on purpose, either to hide picks or to focus on the gameplay over the flexibility of different hero styles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the sheer amount of just I don't want to say star power that they have on this team, but certainly like the individual skills and experience of these players, when they really go in depth on their heroes, yeah, sure, you can counterpick them, but they're going to have more options than many, many others will have
True.
to outplay you in return.
Talking about big differentials as well and hiding stuff. I think this not a great segue, but a follow-up to it. Guess Execration's win rate on Dire.
Ooh. Their win rate on Dire.
I'm gonna say Fnatic is 75% on Radiant.
75% on Radiant. I mean, they haven't really lost a lot at all. Execration have lost a little bit more. Their win rate on Dire is like 30%.
37.5, not too far. So they've been far more successful. 62.5 on Radiant, 37.5% on Dire. Has been a bit of a tricky side for them. So this would be a great game to pump those numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fnatic has 75% on both sides because, yeah, basically they've, they have a lot of victories under their belt.
Yeah.
So
They don't do that losing thing right now.
pause time has switched to Fnatic.
It's one of those moments where, enemy pauses, somebody gets up, goes to the bathroom. They unpause. You're like, no, we have a guy in the bathroom.
Yep, has
Like, well,
disconnected.
if they're in the
General
bathroom.
Januel's ready for the 5v4.
And you don't need the Slark until like 25 minutes in, right? He can be on there forever. He can get himself, old-timey, get a newspaper, make yourself comfortable.
Yep. Pause time has switched back to Execration. Swapping the ball, it's like a game of dodgeball now.
Yeah.
Welcome to Dodgeball 2.
This is certainly the Electric Boogaloo version, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would pay good money to see Dota teams play dodgeball.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, there's a bunch of guys who are like actually kind of athletic, and then the rest of them are just gamers.
Yeah.
And like the gamers, capital G gamers. Always picked last at actual dodgeball gamers.
Gotta look at the teams that are more likely to do the Naruto run kind of stuff when they run into the main stage, because they're more likely to dodge the ball. But hey, let's not dodge this start for Fnatic versus Execration. The first game here in the upper bracket to kick off, as we will be taking bounties 3-1 in favor for Fnatic. We're going to be paying close attention to this mid lane. We've got Armel leveling up his stun to start things off, and Bob, the orb, of course. Puck versus Lesh. Might be a fairly even matchup. Oh, look at the blocking on Armel. Ooh, that is so good. But there's the range creep in front, so it's going to be an even block on both sides.
Yeah, and this is what he picks up the stun for, to secure that first range creep. A little bit easier to do that and to deal some more damage to the wave with than with the Lightning Storm, which deals less damage.
Yep.
And he is unlikely to get many of those stuns to actually hit on Bob, especially once the point in phase shift comes out. But he can at the very least threaten with it, do the whole dance of, am I casting it? Am I casting it? Oh, now I'm casting it.
Good old cast cancel fake pumping. Can be handy to bait out the phase shift, for example, from Bob. Decides to level it up at level 2. Yeah, he's just waltzing around. There's a lot of mobility going on here in this mid lane. I love to see like this active kind of, not just, standing still, grabbing the creep wave aggro, pulling it to your range creep kind of stuff. Instead, this is like very mobile, and you kind of need to do it to make your opponent feel that, okay, he's never going to be in the same place like ever again, kind of.
And
Classic
Armel has been blowing his entire mana pool to make this happen, by the way.
Yeah.
Of course, he does now also have his bottle coming in, but he really needed all of his actions here to get him the money to get that. Otherwise, right now, he'd be getting pushed out by Bob's mana reserves.
Yeah, very likely. Now we are going to take a quick glimpse on the side lanes. Januel notices, well, this is a grim situation for me. We've got Shanks blocking the easy camp. They've blocked the hard camp, so I'm just running around with a range creep.
Yeah, you take what you can get.
Yep. I mean, the range creep does have okay-ish damage. I'm like, okay, well, there's probably no better option to go for the time being, but doesn't that also take a last hit away from the Alchemist?
Yes.
So I was like,
Well, you just get a creep that you're sure he's not going to hit, right? And
Yeah.
what this is mostly for is because it's piercing damage, you're going to do best versus the other creeps. Like, it's not for harassment. He's just trying to CS and or deny with this, as you can see here. Yeah, you can tickle Tino, but
Yep.
the main purpose of this creep now is just to try and grab any extra CS or denies that he can.
Also in close eyesight, this top lane Fnatic's off-lane duo, Jabs and DJ. I think they've been the most effective off-lane duo inside the group stages out of any other team. They've made a lot of interesting combos work out. The communication seems to be there. It feels like if I could really dive into the heads of these players, I feel like they're actually enjoying their gameplay a lot because
Oh yeah.
me also as an offlane player, if I can trust my pos 4, I have a good game, and I think he also likes that my core is going to be farming a lot and having impact in this game. And Furion is a hero that can have a lot of impact.
Yes.
Add
And
that
you
up with
can-
a primal piece. It's like,
I mean, you can feel the trust between these two, right? Like, Jabs would have been the best position for a player on every single SCA team except the one with DJ on it.
yeah.
They both
Yeah.
know that.
Yes, exactly. Here's the storyline to go for. 2 points in Essence Shift for Palos. Hasn't leveled up Dark Pact or Pounce. Holding onto the value point. Same thing for the Furion. Hasn't got Sprout either.
Yeah, Sprout, I mean, that's the thing, right? Sprout versus Slark. What's it supposed to do for you?
I think takes a kind of a beating here. Now Palos looking to be in trouble. Levels up the Pounce, but doesn't get to use it. Will use himself instead. And Abeng has been really good on the Sekiro before. The stand-in player for Execration has been making waves. He's been landing a lot of good ice pads, like up to 3 to 4 heroes in a lot of fights.
And this is really where I wish that my tagalog was better, because there is all chat. It keeps coming.
Yep.
If it was Russian, I could do something for you guys, but I'm afraid that I cannot decipher this for you.
Maybe we should have like a tag
Bang?
along into Russian quick swap, as we do get the first blood in the top lane. Jakiro, well, he did kind of push his limits there in the lane. We did see him poking a lot with half HP, so he gets killed in front of the tower. So that allows the Furion now to go home with the TP scroll, teleport back into his lane. Early item pickups coming in. First blood for Fnatic.
That was very patiently played by DJ, but at the same time, the fact that he hasn't really been pressuring on the Slark does mean that the Slark is now sitting at the top of the last hit charts together with his puck, rivaling the Alchemist, who has up until now not really been bothered, which is normal when you have an Earthshaker on the lane, right? The enemy plus 4 really can't do much for you unless you get wildly out of position and locked behind a fissure block.
Yep.
But as long as you refuse to actually hit the Visage, he doesn't deal all that much damage. Like, all of his damage output is Soul Assumption until he hits at level 6. So this is a very peaceful bot lane.
Look at mid though. Mid is far from that though. We've got 3 heroes from Execration trying to secure the power rune for a Bob, and Armel's gonna be there. But on the other hand, there's a haste rune on the top half, just being
Oh,
secured
DJ
for
loves
the
that.
puck. Be pretty happy with that. Palos and Jab's just going to be sharing up the farm in the lane, and DJ looking for the wraparound on top.
Yeah.
Beautiful charge coming in there from DJ, and just look at the trample damage, which is absolutely nuts onto this Jakiro. DJ still hiding in the tree line, as Januel's also wanting to join, but he's a bit too far away. But they got the kill they wanted, and that's the puck down.
Yeah, that's a shame. Bob thought he was safe because he saw DJ move through that ward towards top lane, and DJ just curved right back on him. And you know what? Even if the Primal Beast is behind him, right? He doesn't really have to fear as long as he doesn't use that phase shift to dodge the stun.
They will kill Jabs in the top lane. Bob basically just respawned, gets the Waning Rift out, so he won't be able to teleport away. And one thing I wanted to highlight about mid, just as soon as that situation ended, DJ's like, okay, there's an entirely empty lane. Let me walk here to check if the tower's hitting me. Pops down the sentry and gets a free D ward.
Yep.
A tithe to the impurity.
Excellent efficiency.
They don't have the power rune vision now onto the top half as well, so that could still lead into a bit of an element of surprise.
DJ is lurking.
And Jabs is definitely not lurking. He's making himself known. It's like, let's go. And into the arms of the Primal Beast. What a beautiful read. The coil comes out. Bob will live with 80 HP. Abeng's not going to be as lucky, though, as he's going to get hunted down. And that's going to be the third kill going in the favor of Fnatic. And Bob is just being... His morale is slowly dropping with, why is there 3 players in my mid lane?
At the very least, he did a phenomenal job while he was under pressure to not die to also clear the wave out. So if he could have had help from any of his side laners, they might have been able to still keep that tower. But as the second wave comes in, he is still on his own with just an Earthshaker for help. And that's like, we were talking about having wave clear on that last pick. They have no way to keep Fnatic off their towers right now. It's just Bob.
Yeah, currently the pressure is arising. And you can see that they want to keep up that pressure. They got the TD rune for Armel. DJ smoking up towards the triangle. Bob's going to be making himself shown in mid, and Raven, he would like to get some backup and probably even lead into a kill. They've got a lot of minus armor, and here comes DJ. Shanks is going to spot him, and that's where Primal Beast is missing. Leshrek is missing. Oh, they're already here. Maybe it's a bit late right now as DJ doesn't quite get the trample onto the Earthshaker, so they do just in time dodge this gank from Fnatic. They're going in mid, though. There is a Bob hunting down a Chen. The ice path, sitting inside the coil. Going to be a solid kill for them. That one out of the way.
Presumably a pity.
And he gets to kill the wave here as well. I mean, Abeng knew he was dead the moment he stepped foot behind that tower.
Yeah.
He has to join for the damage, for the wave clear, and they get some much needed damage on that mid tower. And Bob needs to repeat this, and he needs to keep on going, because right now his Visage has level 6, but he's being kept off of the tower by constant threat from Fnatic.
Yep.
And at the same time, top lane, the Slark is just going to retreat into the jungle, and he's going to find out that he's already being watched by the ward there.
Oh, Bob actually intervenes here and finds the Leshrek with absolutely no mana, and that's going to be a Bob kill. I think they finally revealed this ward, but this ward has been here for quite a long time. But the timing couldn't be better. No mana Leshrek. That's an easy pick off there, and Bob's happy to take that one.
Absolutely. That was a lot of gold towards his Witchblade, and he's really going to need the damage, because again, he's doing most of the lifting on his own right now. And Abeng, he's level 5 right now. He might remain level 5 if he needs to keep on running after Bob to provide him with extra damage. It's not a good position for Jakiro to be in. You want to sit back. You don't want to be the guy joining forces with the ganker.
Oh, he just gets his ulti off. Didn't quite get the bird's mini stun on time. That could have maybe led into a kill, but yeah. It's just a casual Jakiro getting killed again.
Bob's already bought.
Get the melee happen here. This would be the better trade if they can finish off the Alchemist. He's still regenerating. Soul Assumption coming into the tree line, still regenning, but Tino will get the kill. So this is actually a really good trade-off for Execration. They just gave away a roaming Jakiro, found the enemy basically, and they just get the opener like, oh, now we can actually try again on this Alchemist. He probably won't suspect us to jump him for a second time in a row. And with Bob, and make it work, but there's some ill news on the way. You see, you see this nicely stacked up trio here right in front of the tower. You got a gank squad on your way. They did not have any vision to get information on the smoke. They're drawing around the map. These are the areas where they're most likely going to be in, and what areas they're playing and what we are playing. And this is all DJ.
Yep. And this is the kind of speed that Fnatic loves to use. Like, they get a gank, push out a wave, and then immediately do the cross-map smoke away from that. And if you're Execration, you might actually see this one coming. Like, it's very... I don't want to say suspicious, but these exact two players have made this exact move earlier on.
Oh, let's observe.
You might just be too desperate.
Dota players in their natural habitat. They're going to be charging in onto the Visage. There's a good fissure coming out from Shanks, but Tino down. Shanks is dead. They will let the puck slide through this time, but that is going to be the first death for Mr. Visage. A pretty important one, too, because he has been pretty much free farming for the time being. Even though he's not really high on the net worth, but it's important to keep that Visage on the back foot.
Yep, and especially to keep his wave off of the tower. He is their tower push, and the longer you can keep the Visage out of
Once this...
reach of your buildings, they just won't fall.
Well, the Glyph is going to soak up the Diabolic Unit completely, so it's just going to move away from tower range. Also the Fissure from Shanks. And Abeng is also strolling about in the area. Maxed out Dual Breath. Decent burn damage, good slows.
Regeneration.
Doing some stacks, and DJ's like, oh, stacks for me.
Is for me?
It's for me? How kind of you.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna let him though. With the ward now placed down, this high ground is quite fortified, and Tino is going to sit there and finish off his Wraith Pact, and I presume as soon as that comes out, we're going to see another attempt on the bot tower for real.
Yep. Charge onto Shanks. Bang, bang, bang. Follow-up stun from Armel. Gonna be making clean work out of this one, and Bob is on the run. Won't be able to stand his ground for much longer, but Abeng is here for the defense. Macropire, Ice Path laid down. Will burn down the Treants, but it will not connect on a single Fnatic hero, so this tower is a goner.
Yeah, when they bring 4 like that, especially Jabs with his high armor, he just tanks it. He's
Armel
fine.
just... He just goes. he just...
What?
Absolutely braving the high ground here with no threats in the world. Like, what you gonna do about it?
Radiant's top tower is being
325, rushing a Bloodstone as well. He is actually going to be very hard to bring down, and I think the lack of damage that he's diagnosed here from Execration is he's completely correct on that. Between getting the extra spell lifesteal and having a Hand of God behind him, this was the only core that they had a good chance of taking down on Execration, but he is going to be so hard to kill, and all 3 outer towers are down now on Execration. They need this bottom tower, so they're smoking for it again.
Attempting to apply pressure. DJ's already here. Shanks, his smoke will pop far from the tower range, so he knows that there's somebody here. DJ charges away. Abeng is on the side as Tino is going to start pummeling this tower slowly but surely.
And I
they're just-
think they're finally going to get it. Like, it's like, yeah, we got 4k advantage out of your towers here.
Yeah, they just
You're clearing out your jungle. This is fine.
happily just farming the enemy jungle. Raven shows himself under the tower. He's close to his level 2 ulti. Bob is here. Januel is here. There's the
Witchblade
stun
in
to
hand.
block the escape from the Alchemist, but this Witchblade ain't gonna be enough. Macropire as well. Ice Path, now they have some damage. They will use the Hand of God pretty early. Echo Sun coming in as well. The charge from DJ will be taking down Abeng. They've got Jabs TPing in as well with the Fury, and they're going to be taking down the Jakiro. This is going to get stunned up as well. Raven still sitting at half HP. Shanks with another Fissure block. And look at the Alchemist kill, and he will finally be taken down as Palos joins in on the brawl. And Execration will get the kill on the top net worth hero.
That took forever. He was just bathing in that Macropire. Without Tino there, they just simply do not have the damage to take him down. I don't think Palos actually wanted to come over. He's got a Mage Slayer as well. So he is actually ready for more action to come here. I don't think he quite wanted to build into this item either. Not the fastest farming item compared to the Echo Saber, but you do what you have to.
He's a utility Slark.
Well, I wouldn't want to go that far. He's made a gesture.
Yeah, he will definitely have his impact in this game. Just needs the time for it. Like that's the whole idea for Execration. Stretch this game out. Let's get our Visager and Slark will most likely be heavy hitters this game. We just need to match the timing with Fnatic. Like, once they're effective, we need to be effective. So there's the reasoning for the Mage Slayer. And he is going to go for Armel. You are way too deep on this Lesh.
Oh, yeah.
So no matter what you do, even with the Bloodstone, it ain't going to save you today. And Palos is hunting for more. Stun coming out onto the Jakiro by Raven. Jabs is about to drop, and they've got the grab onto the Slark. He's dropped down to half HP. No ulti remaining. Palos getting hunted down at the tree line. And this Radiance is definitely doing work. They just need a little bit more vision. Where's the Slark? There he is. Let's throw this stun at his face. And that is going to be a bloody concoction spilling on top of this Slark, and Januel might be falling at the same time for Tino. Execration finding a response, finding 3 kills. Importantly, taking down Armel to start the fight off, but at least the Alchemist gets something for his troubles here.
Very important that the Slark goes down here. In spite of the Slark dying, though, once again, the goal difference is not really going up in the favor of Fnatic. And I do think that with an Alchemist on the board, who has ostensibly been mostly free farming, this is the window where he needs to actually pull ahead. He's got the space with the 3 enemy towers being down. The fact that he wasn't already ahead, I wouldn't call it a cause for concern, but this Slark kill was necessary in a way.
It
At
was.
least
Like,
hit
even
the
if you don't...
acceleration now.
Yeah, like, even if you didn't instantly get a power spike in gold in terms of how that fight went, Slark has been dead for half a minute, and Alchemist has been fully on farming by the time being, so they just built 2,000 gold of a difference, but now finding jabs, and they found Abeng, so it's not a fantastic trade for Fnatic. That's a good play for Execration, getting away of this Nature's Prophet, the holder of the Orchid.
And I really do want to commend Alec for his positioning in this game, because it's easy to say that he's been over-positioned, that he's died more than is necessary, but the fact that it's been him drawing all of DJ's monstrous wrath instead of, say, Bob or any of the other heroes has been very beneficial to his team as a whole. Even though, yeah, this Jakiro's poor as dirt right now.
The way how you're picturing the wrath of a player, and then you come up with Bob. Like, you're just gonna... You don't think Bob has wrath? I mean, imagine when you got this guy, like, you've got all these players being introduced, and they're doing whatnots, and they're this and that, and then you got this guy called Bob, and he just walks out, and he's just killing everyone, you know?
Those are the psychos. Like, if you have the chance to name yourself something cool. Like, this epileptic kid renamed himself to Nightfall, right?
Yeah.
And here we have Bob. Bob refuses to become cool, for he knows he is cool already. He is who
maybe
he
it's an
is.
acronym from something from BOB.
Beast of... I don't know.
I don't know. Bring your bottles. That would
Bring
be
own
bio.
bottle.
That would be bio or bio or whatever. That has a different meaning. At least in the prior 20 minutes, DJ going pretty aggressive here. Ice Path actually misses from Jakiro, but the follow-up stun does just fly through. So Macropyre takes this Primal Beast down to half HP. Raven. They did, no, they didn't actually find the ward here, placed down by Dire. That's the classic outpost extender. It's on the other side of the sentry as well, so they don't know about the vision, but they've seen Raven the whole time, and he's gone for a halberd in between, so he really wants to diminish the capabilities of this Slark this game.
Yep, he's already itemizing for the matchup, which means they want to clash, and clash they are doing it right now, pressuring this top tower, wanting to take away that outpost and securing a potential second roach for themselves further down the line. And Execration, it's going to be so hard to fully commit unless Fnatic dive, which they're doing right now.
Well, they are. I mean, they have zero regard for human life as Abeng is already dropping. Echo Slam does land from Shanks to slow them down for a little bit, but it doesn't work too much for this side of Execration as Fnatic just continues to pressure. Palos trying to build up stacks. He does manage to dodge the stun with the dark back. Look for a kill on jabs, and Bob's going to be helping them out. They've got Armel and Raven sitting at half HP, but still the advantage of the Aegis is there. Januel, he's going to be on the side as Palos is looking for another angle to jump in. He's going to go on the Chen. Tino is already disengaging. Armel will go down. Bob will find a triple kill. Maybe even get the kill on the Slark. Another fissure from Shanks, and they got Raven chopped as well. Execration cleaning house. They're taking everyone. Raven's going to be about to drop. He's looking for Tino. Might be able to get this kill. Yes, he will. But the Aegis is down, and they already got a triple on Bob. And look at this Alchemist melting in the arms of Execration, and he burns as they will take themselves for and actually make it a full-on team wipe. Actually, it's full-on 5, not just 4 for the trade of 2. So Execration somehow able to extend that fight. And it looked like impossible odds, but beautiful usage of spells to stretch out the fight for Execration.
Absolutely, and beautiful use of positioning there as well. Like, the fact that not only they get out alive with most of their heroes, but the fact that they get to kill the Alchemist last twice is just beautiful kiting work. Both Palos and Bob understanding throughout this fight that all they need to do is outlast the Chemical Rage, kill the other heroes, take away the other sources of damage and utility. So jabs going down, very important. The fact that the Hand of God gets spilled so early on in the fight, and after that the Chen doesn't contribute anything anymore, right?
Nope. It's exactly what they did. And like you said, sustaining the fight, Palos, he disengaged for a while to regenerate on the high ground of their outpost, knowing that they had no vision whatsoever. He's just loading up his HP and getting ready to jump in again. And he's got that fresh Aghanims as well, which is doing a lot of work. And he almost finished a BKB by the looks of it. So curious to see if he actually has the full parts built, because you can't really see it in his inventory in the other parts.
At this point, I'm just scared that Raven's decision to take this fight to the Slark early instead of extending his lead is making it harder on his team, not easier. Like, the Halberd is great for a 1v1 matchup, but it's not a damage item. It's not something like a Basher that avoids you getting kited.
It's true. They do have the Furion to back up with that as well. Like, Jabs is ramping up a lot with his attack speed talents. Damage this guy that can build up like level 15 on this Furion with the AC on the Alchemist is gonna sit in very nicely for their physical damage output. But you are right. Like, was it the right call to face him this early? Guess they did rely on the power of the Aegis.
Yes, and they got what they wanted in the end here. This is one of the things that I like about Fnatic, that if the fight doesn't work the first time, they'll just reevaluate, like, hey, can we still get our objective?
Birds almost get burnt down. Abeng will keep the Leshrac away. Saving push there from the Wildwing Ripper. Tino very deep in. And the coil comes out from Bob. He will have to reset for the time being. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, Palos has already started building up stacks off of DJ. And on the hunt they go. Raven with his ulti. They've got Palos with the BKB popped right now. They need to cut it for a bit, but the Echo Sun coming in. They've got the Ice Bat as well. Leshrac is healing, but it's not going to be enough for him. He will just not outlast this fight. Raven gets the chance to jump onto the Visage. Tino dropping low. Charging from DJ. They've got himself the Visage. And now the stun from the Centaur as well. Nice micro coming in from Januel. Finding the stun on the Owl, the Slark, but still, they are dropping. DJ, he's trying to make a run for it. Palos, he's on the heels of this Primal Beast and onto the Chen for another one. Quick double kill for him, and Jabs is in trouble. He is going to be left for dead as Fnatic. They've lost 4 and make it again. A second team wipe in a row against the top team of SCA. No way, Raven. He wants to make a run for it, but Palos cuts him short for an ultra kill.
He doesn't have the damage. Raven does not have the damage. He's running around that team fight just slapping people, and they're going like, yeah, so, like, put your gloves on next time, man.
You do you, we do us, and we have a game plan that's working. Execration. They've matched up the timing of Fnatic, and maybe even better. Honestly, looks like they're having more fun than Fnatic is.
At this point, yes, and I know that because of the carry-to-carry matchup, the pressure is on Fnatic to keep these desperate attacks coming, and desperate they are by now.
Desperate.
Like, that fight was not actually necessary.
And
they already got their objective.
This Leshrac just doesn't seem to do enough. Like, you've
He
basically
went all in on survivability, right?
He did, and still, like, most of the time when you see Leshrac with a Bloodstone and he pops his heal, many players feel like, I'm just gonna quit poking this guy. Like, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But Execration are like, we don't see impossibility as an option. If it's a brick wall, we stick our heads through it. But not just our heads, we go through the goddamn wall. We just charge through no matter how many bones we break. But as long as the wall is down, our mission is accomplished.
Yep. Execration is doing some Kool-Aid Man style wall breaking right now.
Yep. So Execration has the net worth lead now for the first time this game. And 89% win probability. That is harsh. That is absolutely harsh.
It is, but I'm not even sure I disagree. Like, between the itemization on Fnatic and the fact that we're now at 25 minutes, like, I think Slark, I mean, he looked up from his newspaper sometimes, and I do think that he's about ready to wipe and flush.
He's got a 3-level difference to any other player in this game.
He's
But we'll find the coil on 3 echoes left from Shanks to take down Jabs onto the next one. Genual, DJ, Raven, absolutely panicking. Armel finally gets the stun out, and this Slash gets to play the game for a little bit at least, but Palos is just waltzing around them with his shard. On to the next. He's lowering the Slash. He will take down Armel, and again, Upping finding the ice path to connect on the Alchemist, and that's again 4 heroes gone from the side of Fnatic, and this is just disastrous for them. But Execration, the Giant Slayers, are doing it again, and look at Palos. He doesn't get the first pounce, but he's gonna get the second one for sure. And this Primal Beast is going roly-poly and waltzing around the trees, but with the fissure from Shanks, that is a team wipe again. Execration. What is this team, man? Absolutely beautiful, Dota.
Yeah, and that team fight wasn't even ideal anymore. Like, Palos actually had to hit, the Raven Alchemist for quite a bit there. But it didn't matter anymore. They're just running circles around them, and Fnatic could not find a good angle to lock any of the Execration heroes down enough to get a grip on them. Like, this game has become so bloody hard, and they
turned up so much, man.
Yeah, defensive BKB.
Basically the stuff that I scouted out, like looking at the draft, that okay, if Fnatic plays the way Fnatic has been playing, this is going to be a difficult Slark game. But then, you know, trying to force the Alchemist just a tad bit too early, a couple mistakes in the team fight where Execration just gets themselves reopeners, positioning-wise, just fantastic movement around. This is what they rely on, the Slark and the Puck's mobility, and being able to nimbly dodge and move around Fnatic, play around the Slark ulti, and one team fight to another team fight to a third team wipe, and they've all just been wipes for the side of Execration. This is now, they have the stronger lineup, they have the stronger timing, so now it's Fnatic to find the clues. How do we get this game back on track?
And that is the problem with the lineups exactly, because they had mostly a static push lineup. It's the tad disrespectful dive on that top tower that gives Execration the perfect opportunity to make the game-turning fight happen. And now they're in a position where that static push is not going to do them any favors for the fights anymore, because they can't hold their ground anymore.
Slark DD on the high ground.
Yeah, those racks are history.
He is absolutely huge. He's tied up the net worth of the Alchemist, and you can see one guy's doing work, the other guy's dancing. Work hard, play hard. Doesn't sit into this one. The other one only gives you results. There's a BKB now picked up for the Primal Beast, so he should be able to get his ulti off. That is a way to lock down potentially Shanks. He's the one who's been interrupting this Primal Beast in every single fight. He always charges into the fissure, so he's stunned by the time he arrives. We'll see what they can get up with this. 30 minutes of gameplay comes to a close, and Execration with a 7, now 8,000 gold lead. Fnatic go for the smoke.
There's a Blink Dagger incoming. So between the BKB and the Blink, Fnatic, I mean, the window has all but closed, but they've got their fingers jammed in between the windowsill.
Yeah, they want
dang it, they're going to try to wrench it back open again, and they found
Shanks. Oh, and a beautiful dodge from Shanks, but Tino's not going to be as lucky. He doesn't have anything else except for the shard, but at least they've worn out the BKB off of the Primal Beast, so Fnatic can't even fight anymore. Bob's gonna go for the coil onto DJ. Continuing the fight on the sideline, they've got Armel being hunted by birds. Abeng in the tree line, the most important controller in the fight, is gone. Shanks loading up for the Echo Slam. He's prepared to use it. Execration want them to stack up Armel. He's going to be able to dodge with the Ghost Scepter. 1 for now. Bob gets the Yules at least onto Armel, and now the Leshrac is going to be in big trouble. He's going to need some backup from his allies, but he's got nothing to outlive the damage that is incoming from every direction. And Janual, you ain't going to be as lucky. They've got another pounce with the axe. Palos secures the double kill. 3 for 1. Roche is up.
There is a brief possibility there when they're cutting into the flank of Execration, but it disappears just as quickly. Execration is more than happy to just throw the Jakiro at them, regroup over to the side, and then pick right back up where they left off, which is picking at the flanks of Fnatic and ignoring that Alchemist.
There goes Roche. And this is...
He's got a bonus shard in his inventory right now.
Might as well.
Like,
Just for favor.
You already have one, Palos. What do you need a second one for?
Is there anybody who actually even needs a shard in the team? Well, Puck, Jakiro. Yeah, Puck, Jakiro are the ones who are still missing out on one, so he'll probably
Jack's got a very nice shard.
Dire's bottom tower.
Percentage max health is actually very good against heroes like DJs or like Ravens.
Yeah, that can definitely work out. Not like they need the damage anymore. I mean, the
No.
Slark's already gone past the Alchemist, so this Alch just doesn't have a game anymore. At least in a straight 1v1, like Slark just beats anyone here.
My thrift rewarded.
Yeah, and that Scotty has now been up for a little while as well. The matchup is done and dusted.
Love to have a one of the best counters for Alchemist in a game where you're actually leading against it as well, just knowing that you're gonna have a lot of fun the rest of the game. As long as he doesn't get caught, and Palos really isn't getting caught. There's way too many tools. They're trying to go for a push in bottom, but they're losing
buildings.
a second lane of Rax already, and Palos with Tino with those level 3 birds. They hit for almost 100 damage. They've got a lot of attack speed.
Dire's bottom
He's got the armor corrupt as well.
Yep, and the Wraith Pack to buff them up as well. So yeah, everything nice. And just look at these creeps die as well. Like this is a really strong Visage timing now. Like when you have your level 18, get that level 3, and the AC as well. Like you're already doing a lot with the Wraith Pack. So if you got an AC on top of that as well, okay.
The Visage is like a flying fortress.
Yep, he is. Like some people might opt to go for Aghanims, but you don't really need Aghanims because you don't need to pick off the opponents. Like they're just running away from you.
Your job is to stand at the center of the team fight, fire off soul assumptions, and in general, just your presence will do the work for you. Especially when Fnatic can't really afford to focus fire you. They haven't been able to do that for quite a while, and the times that he did do it, Palos was one of the few kills in a fight that otherwise favored Execration. Because again, it takes so much time to chew through all that bulk. Hey, and I didn't give Jack the shard.
And there goes
I mean,
Armel. He is trying to
deserved
TP
it.
away, but Shanks might as well just use the Echo Slam for it because it is for a worthy target. Punishing Armel for another time. Execration.
No buyback
No
either. He is
buyback
short of
indeed.
money.
There's only 3 remaining for the side of Fnatic and only a lane of Rax. So, well, the positive side, you've got less buildings to defend, but Raven wants to go for it. He's going to jump the back line. Oh, he didn't get his BKB off at all. DJ, now he pops his. Abeng is being trampled right now, but he is surviving and he is living. He was inside that shard from the Slark. No target to hit, so Trample's the only thing going through. Raven's BKB is already spent. DJ down. Make it Janual as well. Fnatic are facing their last seconds of this game. Execration is just running them over.
They are, and joyfully so. Like, this looked very playful. This looked like a puck game, not just from the puck, but from the entire team almost. All that dancing and bobbing and weaving. Very enjoyable to watch. Yeah, Palos is going for Raven. He's waited long enough.
Yep, 1v3. There goes the Alchemist, and there comes the GG. That's going to be a rollout. Fnatic unable to score in the early game. Axed out of that laning stage. And Execration, really, really good positioning from them. They basically won them that first team fight, and that went into a landslide. If Fnatic with the Aegis, if they would have won that team fight, I mean, this still could have gone anyway. It could
Yes,
have even actually
absolutely.
meant the end of Execration if they got team wiped by Fnatic with that Aegis. But the Alchemist counter, it sets in very nicely at the end. So that being the first game going for Execration, happy for them in terms of Bob having a great game, Palos having a great game, and then you also get the full potential out of the Visage to secure the late game for you, which, well, they don't even need it, to be completely honest.
This is gonna like be typical support things to say, but my MVP is definitely the Jagiro. Like, look at the death counts on Execration.
Yep.
3 for your offlaner, 1 for your puck, 10 for your +5 support, 3 for your +4, 1 for your carry. Who did all the important dying? Yeah, that was some great stuff. I mean, it's a team effort, and
It is
they
a team
just
effort.
look like the better team.
That's basically what matters here the most in these best of threes as well, is to get yourself that head start in the series. Execration happy to take this first game, and that also means we're going to take a tiny breather in between, get ourselves ready for the second game. Can Fnatic show why they're the top dogs of SCA, or is Execration going to be maybe the new to take the crown off of Fnatic? We'll be back in a bit.